You be very careful how you preach the gospel if you're a preacher. You do not keep the self thing alive. You kill it. You don't just preach messages that pertain to the blessing of the hearer. He's our God and He'll bless us, Psalm 67. You preach messages that bring transformation and change. Empower people to walk through trying times. Empower people to walk through physical loss and family members not being here anymore. You teach people how to never turn back and never grow weary in well-doing. You teach people how to run a race worthy of a prize and never give up and never let go. Just the fact that so many church-attending people reserve the right to be mad at God and have little skirmishes with God, little mouth battles, little vennings, prove that we don't understand covenant and we haven't surrendered. And there's a deceptive arrogance in all that. And I've heard preachers say from the pulpit, well, everybody gets mad at God now and then, just because of the way things look and see. I wish you would think it was ludicrous to be mad at God. That He's your only help ever. That He's good and He loves and He'd have never sent His Son if He wasn't for you. To be mad at God is totally delusional. And you're playing right into the enemy's hands. Because you're shouting down the only one that really ever loved you. And you're proving that you're not entering into covenant. You just want Him to do something for you. A covenant is all that is mine is yours. Because all that is yours is mine. I give myself to you. That's what a marriage is. A marriage is, I love you. It's not, you love me. It's, I love you. And that's what it is. You see, yeah, but a marriage takes two. It's 50-50. It's a lot of work. I guess if you're secular. I guess if you're a human-driven, flesh-driven, earthly psychologist, that would probably make sense. A marriage isn't 50-50. A marriage is, I love you. Hello? It takes two to tango. It takes one to make peace and pursue it. My marriage is I love you. It's not conditional on her love to me. I love you. Didn't God initiate this marriage? How'd He do it? I love you. When you and me were getting it all wrong. Love you. And instead of going, why? Say, thank you. Man, you never saw me for where I've been. You saw me for what I'm created to be. And you paid a price to redeem a truth in my life. I give myself to you. That's the good news. It's great joy. It's okay to be happy right now. Good tidings, great joy, all people. Yay. So guess who enters in? Believers. You say, well, I'm a believer. But what do you believe? You can believe He forgave you of your sins. You can believe you're going to heaven. Do you believe He loves you all the time? Do you believe that you have the identity of righteousness in His sight through the blood all the time? Do you believe you're holy, pure, and blameless and above reproach in His sight all the time because of Colossians chapter 1? Because if you believe that, it'll make a difference in your life, in your countenance, in your pursuit of Him. I promise you, church, you will never pursue intimacy with Jesus unless you're settled on how He sees you first. If you see how He sees you, you're inspired to approach Him with boldness. And you say, yeah, but you don't know what I did this morning. Yeah, but I know what He did when He rose from the dead, when He went to that cross. I know what He accomplished. I know what His blood speaking. And I'm not making light of what you did this morning. What I'm saying is, how did what you do this morning keeps you from coming to Him? That's the reason you need to go to Him. Yeah? Because here's what happens. You start to let your identity revolve around what you did this morning, so that grays your identity out. That grays your ability to see how He sees you. Now you're nothing more than what you just did. Now you value yourself less than who you really are, and then you keep living up to the low value which you behold yourself in, and that's called a cycle. And because your heart's alive and you care, that cycle starts to condemn you and crush you. And you cry inside. And you feel like you're dying inside. Because you don't want to be there. Which means you're not as lost as you think. Because you care.